Manchester United agree the fee with Borussia Dortmund for Jadon Sancho, just the payment structure, as we reported 7 hours ago to you, to be finalised. And Buendia of Norwich City has rejected a move to Arsenal in favour of Aston Villa. North London is in the mud. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Here we go! Hello and welcome back to the Football Terrace. Jadon Sancho news trending, Buendia news trending this evening, and we are going to break it down to all of you. In relation to Jadon Sancho, it's quite clear what's going on here. Manchester United have agreed terms with Jadon Sancho, but Borussia Dortmund have asked for a big slice of money up front. They've asked for a huge amount of money of the £80 million transfer fee, the base transfer fee to be paid up front. That's exactly what we told you was the case in a video earlier on today, talking about the truth behind this deal. What is slowing it down now is the installment element of this deal. So not the fee is in its base amount, but it's agreeing to how much of the 80 million gets paid up in a lump sum. Fabrizio has come out today and said that Manchester United has started to reignite or restart contact with sign Jadon Sancho. Talks continue with the players' camp in terms of personal terms to be moved forward. We know that's going to happen. No official bid has been made yet. And don't worry about official bids. I keep saying this to football fans. Forget about official bids. The official bids don't come in until the club knows whether it's going to be accepted or not. So until Manchester United agree the fee, agree the installments, agree the add-ons, and have a final verbal agreement from Jadon Sancho that he's signing, no official bid will be made. It gives Manchester United that deniability if the deal isn't to go through. But the £80 million or £81 million, I've seen quoted elsewhere, which is an interest rate situation, is the agreed base rate fee. Manchester United and Borussia Dortmund are now just trying to finalise the negotiations over the instalment element of this deal. Personal terms, again, there's so many journalists contradicting each other tonight or fighting each other. Are they agreed? Are they not agreed? Forget all of that. The player wants to join Man United. It's semantics now. It's semantics now. All that needs to be finalised is the payment terms in this deal. And Jadon Sancho will be a Manchester United player. It is drawing ever closer. It could stall. I say that, and with bated breath, I say it could stall. It could stall and prolong beyond the Euros competition. Most industry experts didn't believe it could be done before the tournament begins. But if over the next 24 to 48 hours, Manchester United and Borussia Dortmund could come to an arrangement, of course, Dortmund wanting the best possible terms with the add-ons. Of course, Borussia Dortmund wanting the majority, the lion's share of the money paid up front. But the deal is drawing ever closer. I want your views. I want your opinions on this. Plus, heart-wrenching news. Arsenal fans last night in glee, in joy, over the rejection or the breaking down at the very least of the deal between Antonio Conte and Tottenham Football Club. But today find themselves in the mud, breaking and trending across social media. The news is this. Aston Villa have outbid Arsenal with a £33 million record fee for Aston Villa deal to sign Buendia from Norwich City. A player that had reportedly said that he was waiting to accept terms from Arsenal now appears to have turned his back on Arteta, walked away from Arsenal Football Club, and would prefer to play for Aston Villa next season as opposed to Arsenal. The humiliation in that is ridiculous. And I'm hearing a few people say Arsenal pulled out. Arsenal didn't get rejected. Arsenal put a bid in that was turned down. That's the first rejection. If the player was desperate to join for you, he would have pushed for that move. Arsenal were pulling a little bit of a Fagan here. They're doing exactly what Tottenham did yesterday. They're saying we pulled out when in fact the player was going to go to Aston Villa. It's saving face. Arsenal fans, I implore you not to be pulled into the PR on this deal. Please don't be pulled into the PR on this deal. All along, it was quoted, it would cost you more than £30 million. It's £33 million plus add-ons for Aston Villa. It could rise up to in and around £40 million. This is what was always quoted to get this deal done, and it hasn't happened. You didn't bid it. Buendia wanted to join Arsenal, but you haven't shown you haven't met the demands, the valuation of the player. And this is the one thing that happens so often in football. When clubs don't meet the valuation of the player and somebody else does, it can change their minds. And for me, I listen, you can be an Arsenal fan, you can walk away from the football terrace if you want to. Don't buy into the PR. Don't buy into the nonsense that's being spun to you and rammed down your throat. Your football club failed to sign one of the best creative players in the market right now at a substantially low fee. 30 to 40 million. Villa have beaten you to his signature. It simply isn't good enough. And of course, you're going to be spun. Oh, our bid was rejected, so we've looked elsewhere. I don't even know what Arsenal have said. I don't even care about what they've said. It is PR bullshit. It is PR bullshit. The same as Tottenham trying to convince the world that they walked away from Antonio Conte. No, you didn't. If you're in a job interview with me and you are awful, you're struggling to answer questions, you're ill-prepared. If it's bombing and halfway through the interview, you say, I'm going to go to the toilet, and you don't walk back in, you didn't reject my company. You weren't getting a job anyway, bruv. Spin. Absolute spin. There's no doubt about it. It's just spin. It's just absolute spin. Aston Villa are closing in on Buendia. Arsenal were reportedly interested. They put their bid in. The bid wasn't accepted. Arsenal haven't gone in for a higher amount. The player hasn't pushed. Now, Buendia hasn't gone, hang on a minute. I don't want to join Aston Villa over Arsenal. Arsenal want me for a few million. Listen, 33 to 30 million. If Buendia wanted you that desperately, he'd be saying, I ain't signing no deal with Aston Villa. You go back and speak to Arsenal again. It's the beginning of the summer. It doesn't need to be done now. He can wait. He can wait. He hasn't. He's chosen, or reportedly chosen, the Aston Villa project. And I hope to God, for Arsenal fans' sake, that this isn't true news. I hope by tomorrow morning there's a new bid from Arsenal, because this is irrecoverable. It really, really is. I want your views. I want your opinions. I'm going to share the link now for you to come on and have your say. Gooners, if you're being... I'm actually going to lose my temper. Arsenal fans, last year, you all drunk the PR Kool-Aid. The rebuild, the trust the process, the non-negotiables, the we're going to win the Champions League in 3 years. Aubameyang only signed a new deal because of... you remember all the PR shit you swallowed last year? Why the fuck are you swallowing it again? What is wrong with people in this world that just love being lied to? Why do people love being lied to? You were winning the race to sign Buendia. Buendia wanted to join you. He was willing. He was waiting. He agreed to join Arsenal. He was waiting for an acceptable bid, and you didn't make it. So he's gone, sod that. You spend all this time talking to me, all this time chirping me, all this time chatting me up, all this time invested in me, and then you don't bother offering an adequate amount for me? Screw you. I'm going to this club that actually wants me. You did it with Thomas Lemar. You did it with Luis Suarez. Please, Arsenal fans, stop drinking the PR Kool-Aid. Wake up and smell the coffee. Wake up and smell the coffee. I'm angry for you because you're buying into this shit, bruv. Come on, man. Tweet here from Charles Watts, who says, everything agreed between Villa and Norwich. Now for Buendia, few final things to sort between Villa and the player, but all expected to go through smoothly. Medical to be completed, barring any very, very last-minute hitches. Buendia is a Villa player. That is from Charles Watts. That is from Charles Watts. I want your views. I want your opinions. Losing out to Villa clearly shows how ambitious Arsenal are. Our invincible gas is running out. Bro, well done you for actually understanding and seeing through the PR nonsense. Wouldn't be surprised if they will now go for Aouar, as he is available for 25 million. Tight asses. I give up with this club. Just listen, bro. I applaud you. I applaud you for having the courage to put your head above the precipice. Any gooners playing this down as we were just outbid. No, absolutely not. Man United, if Chelsea tomorrow come in and bid £85 million plus the add-ons and pay the installments that Dortmund want, and then we say, we're walking away. No, we've been done. Because if we truly want the player and the player truly wants you, there shouldn't be an issue. But if suddenly Jadon went, you know what, Chelsea are in, see you later, Man United, after 18 months of talks, about the same amount of time that Arsenal have been trying to sign Buendia, I'd be fuming. Because that's a rejection if I've ever seen one. Oh, I walked away. Do you know what I mean? If Brad Pitt turns up and starts chatting to my missus and she's looking like, she's licking them lips. Brad Pitt's here for me. And then I'm like, just to get it in first, you're dumped. No. She'd already broke up with you in her head. It's over. Wake up, smell the coffee. And I'm on your side here, Arsenal fans. Kroenke out. Kroenke out. We're going to go to some of your calls here this evening. I want you to come on and have your say in relation to these deals. First up, Daniel's with us. Daniel's an Arsenal fan. What are you saying, mate?
You're right, Terry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm fine, mate. What's your thoughts on this Buendia situation?
What's it? It just sums up Arsenal for the last 10, 15 years with the board and the owners. They're not aggressive in the market. They're not ambitious enough to get that deal over the line. This kind of reminds me of the N'Golo Kante deal where they needed to pay agent fees and they didn't want to do it. You know, they're like, nah, we don't want to do it. Whereas Chelsea, they were aggressive and said, no, we'll pay that. We'll pay the extra agent fees. And they got the player. And that kind of reminds me of the Buendia situation. It just sums up how Arsenal are not aggressive. They don't really care. They don't want to push it to that further level. It's just not aggressive in the market, in the ambition at this football club.
Do you know what it comes down to? Charles Watts here has said this, and Charles Watts has worded this very kind.
Charles Watts, I can't stand the guy. He twerks the football club. I can't stand him.
And I get that, but he's been very careful in what he said here. He says, I understand that Villa have moved ahead in the pursuit of Buendia. They're closer to meeting Norwich's demands. But how comes Buendia is just this early in the window has gone, do you know what? I'm choosing Villa. Do you know why he's done that? Because they've been serious.
Can I tell you something, Terry?
Because they've been serious.
Can I tell you something, Terry? If I was Buendia, I personally would have, this is really sad, shows how we've fallen. I would have chose Villa over Arsenal. Reason because when I look at Aston Villa now, there's a direction of the football club going forward. You can see a direction of the football club going forward. You've got a good manager there and you've got a squad that they've got quality players and they're building around it, becoming a top 6 European team again. Whereas Arsenal, it's a club that's falling backwards and backwards. The manager and the coaching stuff are not good enough and you're going to regress there. So I personally would have chosen Villa. If I was going to do it, I would have chosen Villa over Arsenal. To be honest, I wasn't overly keen on Buendia, to be honest, because I was put off with him in the Premier League. Only 1 goal, 7 assists. I was kind of put off by that, but I'm not the director of Arsenal. I don't do. They've got different players in my head. They
Yeah,
want to sign different
I
players.
understand. Again, they've got
So,
different players, but how do you feel though? Like I maybe people are asleep in your house. You're being quite quiet tonight. I understand, Daniel,
yeah.
but like Villa have beaten you to one of your main targets, and we're at the 5th of June. There is months of this window to go. So if Buendia really wanted to join Arsenal, he'd just say, "I'm not signing no deal yet." But he is ready to literally to sign his career over to Aston Villa rather than wait for you to come back and bid an extra £3 million is the difference. Like that. How are Arsenal fans not seeing this as a rejection? Who's spinning this bullshit into their minds?
Terry, it just sums up the past 10 years of the lack of ambition, the lack of aggressiveness that this owners and board have for this football club. They don't give a shit about this football club, Terry. These fans, they don't really, they're not, like I said previously, they're not hurting. They're still going to buy season tickets, kits next season. But it just sums up the aggressiveness of the
Yeah,
board.
I
And
could
we're just going to
agree with you
fall
more.
backwards and backwards and backwards. And this is why we have declined as a football club since 2006 when the Cronkies came into this football club. I know they just had a little share and it's just been increasing each year.
No,
But this comes up from Cronkies. Gazidis is when he was here. Edu, Vinay. It's just, it's a
all of
mess,
them.
Terry.
All of them. It is. Daniel, thanks for the call, mate. I really
Have a
appreciate it, buddy.
night, Terry.
Top man. Thank you. It's weird hearing Daniel speak so quietly. He must have family asleep. Stuart here says, it seems to me that Arsenal think because they are Arsenal, that's enough when clearly it's not. And the team and the owners have made him feel important. And that's it. How many times have I sat here and said it on this channel? And I know this anecdotally. I know this through speaking to multiple football players. It's so often about a club putting its money where its mouth is. You can sit there for 6 months, a year, 18 months telling a player, we want you, we rate you, we think you're brilliant. Your bid, how you go for them in the transfer market stands out leaps and bounds. The fact that Buendia, who said only a few days ago that he's waiting for the Arsenal bid so that he could accept it, has looked elsewhere. Who's next? Basuma. What's going to happen next with Basuma? Same thing. If another club comes in for him, Arsenal, you're going to miss out. I'm going to share the link again for you to come on and have your say. I'm going to put it into the live comment section, as I always do. I'm going to pin it as well in case anybody misses it, so that you can come on and have a little chat with us. Give us what your thoughts and feelings are. Arsenal fans, I want to hear from you. Of course, Man United fans as well. Big positive news tonight for Manchester United fans that the deal for Jadon Sancho is drawing ever closer. Terms agreed is in relation to the fee. The fee is agreed. It's now the structure of the fee that needs to be negotiated and put together in terms of how much money is paid up front. Terry, I hope Sancho gets time from the United fan base to adjust to the Premier League. He's been developing in the Bundesliga. Kai Havertz was almost as sensational. I hear that. I think he will be given time, but I also think he'll be okay. There isn't the cultural issues. He's not going to be moving to the UK. Fingers crossed everything goes okay in terms back to the UK with lockdown issues. He grew up playing English football. So I don't think the time to adjust will be as difficult for it was for Kai Havertz. But I hope he has as good a first season as Kai Havertz in terms of trophies. I can tell you that much. Next on the show, we're going to have Jason. Jason's with us here. Who do you support, Jason?
Oh, it's me. Yeah, of course I'm an Arsenal fan, obviously.
What's your reaction to this news, mate?
Honestly, I'm disappointed. That literally the whole news, looking at it, just feels bad. It feels like they're just giving us so much hope, and now we're just like dashing it in the side. Like there's no ambition from the board. I can't see nothing, no progress whatsoever. And I've just seen that's declined since 2011. Ever since we lost to United 8-2, that day, literally, that's when Arsenal Football Club has been finished. Like literally been winning FA Cups, papering over the cracks over the last few years. It's just been now we can actually see it. And I feel like Arteta, Edu, Vinay, they're not a good fit for this job. They are a bunch of rookies, everything. They're no experience, literally. Arteta is basically Pep's cone man. Edu's basically just like literally just booking tickets and hotels for everything. It's just like, no, it's just a joke at the moment. The way the club's run, the way it has Kroenke's been here for the last 10 years, and it has not shown no ambition, like nothing there. Villa just basically just outbid us and shown a bit more desire and hunger to complete this transfer. It's just annoying me. So it's like, yeah, I'm just fuming at the moment. But yeah,
I hear you. I mean, Aston Villa beating you to one of your primary targets on the 5th of June.
5th of June. It says it all. Like literally, the Arsenal Football Club for you. Like honestly, this transfer window. I mean, obviously, I felt like over the years, I felt like, oh come on, there must be reacting to something. But over the years, I just kind of tend to realize that whatever Arsenal have done over the last year, like when they signed Aubameyang, they signed Pepe as marquee signings, fair enough. That is basically to paper over the cracks, just to bring the fans to their side. And yeah, I mean, I feel like they're gonna do this summer by spending big, but I don't want to get into it. Like, I just want to wait till this finishes, and then I'm just gonna talk then. But like, other than that, I think I'm not gonna believe any sort of the things that the board's coming through because they're trying to just. It is what it is. Like honestly, it's just like you know what it is. You know what it is, Terry. It's basically like like they basically trying to like just do something like they're trying to tell us that you're trying to spend big. Oh, look, we're going to spend this much this summer, and it's basically just like making us
brother. I'll say it for you. They're lying to you.
Yes,
they're just lying to you, point blank. Aston Villa. Do you know what? We had Arsenal fans come on here and say there's no way Jack Grealish would stay at Villa over an Arsenal proposal.
Exactly.
This transfer of Emi Buendia proves it to you. Buendia isn't even saying, well, let's wait till after Copa America. Let me just wait. I'm not going to decide my future now. We'll wait for Arsenal to come up with the money. He is point blank saying Arsenal are not serious. They are not coming in for me.
Not serious.
I'm going to go and play for a club that are going places. And for me, I'm not even trying to rub salt into the wounds. I'm just being as honest as I can be. This is,
you know what it is?
Embarrassing days for Arsenal. In the last 15 years of football. Jason, thanks for coming on the show and having your say, mate. I really appreciate it. I do.
No worries,
Thank you, buddy. Next on the show, we're going to go to Edu out next. But before that, we've got a Villa fan on the show. I want to try and pronounce his name right. It's Porcelain, I think, is how it's said here. Welcome to the Terrace. You're a Villa fan. What do you want to say?
Yeah, I just think this is not surprising in the least, really. You look at Arsenal, club on the decline. You look at Villa, a club on the up. And, he's a professional footballer at the end of the day, looking to see what's going to happen, not just this year, but the next year after that, the next year after that. And to be honest, there's only so far that history is going to get you. And as a club like Villa, who in the 90s were sort of competing for the title and in the 80s won a cup that Arsenal have never been able to come close to winning. It's one of those things where we know what it's like to be a club in decline. Leeds fans will tell you the exact same. And you're not impervious to this. Any of the big six clubs right now, you're not impervious to sliding down that league because there are a lot of very, very hungry clubs like ourselves, like Leeds and like Leicester, who are coming for you. And this is the very beginning of that of what's next to come.
Mate, I totally agree. I was very fortunate as a Manchester United fan to pick us as we were on the rise in the early 90s. But I know a lot of older United fans that speak about the decline through the 70s and the barren periods through the 80s, and it's a very, very difficult time. What I would be embarrassed about tonight as an Arsenal fan is the way that the Arsenal press are trying to twist this into a Arsenal walked away. We were just outbid, almost trying to suggest that Aston Villa have overpaid potentially for the player. What's your take on them spinning it like that, as opposed to what most football fans will see in the cold, hard light of day is Emi Buendia is chosen Aston Villa over Arsenal?
Yeah, it's absolute nonsense. I mean, they did the same thing with Emi Martinez. Do we not remember when Emi Martinez said that going to Villa is a step up in his career? He wasn't lying. He's telling the truth. He knows that going to Aston Villa, being the number one keeper, he's turned into literally, arguably one of the 2-3 best goalkeepers in the Premier League right now. And he's doing that at a club like Aston Villa. You look at Jack Grealish, who signed a 5-year contract at exactly the time that some of the big boys were circling around him. You know what he did? He said, you know what? I can see what's happening. He actually talked about how he spoke to the owners, NSW in Nazif Suarez and Wes Edens. And he said that they convinced him by virtue of their ambition, their plan. And the same thing is being said about Buendia now, in that he's been convinced by the direction of the club and basically talking about how Aston Villa know exactly what they're going to be doing with Buendia. They know exactly where he's going to be playing. They know exactly where they're going to be next season, the season after. Arsenal have no idea where they're going to be next season. They don't know who the manager is. And the Arsenal fans that are doing apologetics for this deal, saying that, oh no, we're smart because we walked away. They're just they're running interference for the Crankies at that point. Because what they're saying there is, oh, okay, yeah, it's okay that we don't spend money because we're doing it smart. It's like, no, that's not the problem. Is that you're not spending money? That's the issue.
Mate, I couldn't agree with you more. We saw Tottenham try and pull the same trick last night with the whole we walked away from Conte. Yeah, after he said you weren't ambitious enough, after he said that he wasn't happy with your proposal, after he wasn't happy with the kind of players that you were targeting in the summer. He challenges you and then you walk away. That doesn't count to me. You know, Manchester United, Man United did this with Glazeonomics for years. We walked away from transfers and we spun the line of there's no value in the market. No,
right.
We were prepared to pay the money, and the player said, "Well, we ain't waiting for you. Then we're going to move on to other clubs that are more serious than we are." It's an absolute calamity. And you know what? Like we cover the big six on the Football Terrace. That's what we do as a general rule. And I'm sick to my back teeth of big six clubs thinking that just because of name and heritage and history that they rule the roost, because they don't.
Exactly.
When a club like Villa, when a club like Aston, clubs like Leicester, clubs like Wolves, when they start to be run well, players will pick them. Players want to be at well-run football clubs, and Arsenal are the epitome, are the opposite of that. And this is the most embarrassing bit from an Arsenal point of view. They were all sold the PR BS all of last year, from Aubameyang signing because he's godfather to Mikel Arteta's kids, William being convinced they're going to win the Champions League within 3 years, the trust of process, the non-negotiables, the blah, 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 blah nonsense. And they're buying into it again. And my view is this is just human nature. People love being lied to. They love being lied to because it's actually easier than facing the truth here. And you'll see all the big Arsenal fan channels do it. You'll see all the Arsenal fan scenes do it. All the Arsenal media do it. I'm talking about the tier one, close to the owner media. They're all going to defend it in some way, shape, or form. But they're in the mud. Do you know what? Well done you. Well done you as a Villa fan that you've picked a class player. Let's not change our stance on him.
He's brilliant.
All week for Arsenal. Villa have just signed a top-class creator over the big, great Arsenal football club.
Terry, they were twerking for him 24 hours ago. I mean, what they thinking? The thing is, people outside of Aston Villa, they don't, and it's not their fault. No one's going to really know the ins and outs of what's going on at my football club because we're not a big six side. But the small things that we're doing, and some things are really big, we're basically copying the exact Leicester model. We've actually taken a bunch of their, I think we've taken their entire recruitment team as well. We're doing the youth setup. We're doing a whole new redevelopment there. We're doing a whole new redevelopment on for our training. All the stuff that Man United fans complain about, we're doing all of that. At the same time, we're spending over £100 million a year on transfers. And people are saying that, oh yeah, but you're still a small club. You're still this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, you can say that, but between us and Arsenal, you've got one fan base saying that we're a big club, and then you've got another fan base whose club is actually doing the things that a big club does, such as spending money to get Emi Buendia in at all cost, because you know that there are other teams who want that player, and you know that he's going to make your team a lot better by getting him and by offering more money. That's what a big team does. Arsenal have no idea what being a big team means.
Absolutely. And listen, well done, you. Great call, mate. Love to get you back on the show again.
Cheers, Terry.
Top man. Thank you for coming on and having your say. KJ to come soon, ladies and gentlemen. We've got some more callers before that. Gary here says, I'm a United fan, but let's get real. Just compare Villa's trophy cabinet to Arsenal. End of. I mean, Villa's trophy cabinet's pretty good. They haven't had the history in the last 20 years that Arsenal have got. But you know what? Arsenal have just been rejected for one of their main targets this summer. They put a £30 million bid in. We're told, no, what you're doing. Villa come in with 3 mil more. 3 million. 3 million. Un, deux, trois. I can't do it in any other language, so I won't try. But un, deux, trois. Un, deux, trois million. 3 million. That's all. More. And Buendia didn't think twice. He went, I'm off ski, bruv. I'm out of here. I ain't waiting for you. Let that sink in. And I'm not angry. I'm angry at anybody believing this is anything other than a rejection. Tonight, there should be nothing other than Kroenke out trending globally. It's not. Why? Why? Madden. If it was my club, I would be absolutely seething. Next on the show, we've got Dequan's going to be here with us to have his say. Dequan, who do you support, bro?
Arsenal and bro. Man, I don't know what to say. It is peak, man. It's peak. The demise of Arsenal Football Club. Arsenal has died today. It actually has. Being rejected by Buendia. Man's off to Aston Villa. Like, that's like trying to pull a girl in a club, like pull a 5, yeah? And then you don't get the goal. Like, it's peak, man. Oh my God. Like, where do Arsenal go from here? Like, Arsenal need a right back, a left back, a keeper, midfield, striker if Eddie Nketiah leaves. Like, oh man. I can't believe it. Like, to be honest, I can't believe any transfer until a deal is done. Like,
You know what, though,
it's
mate?
got to that point.
It has. You've been doing it for years. The Thomas Lemar deal is the case in point here. Thomas Lemar wanted to join Arsenal. Arsenal promised Thomas Lemar from the early stages of that summer that they were going to bid the adequate amount for him. They didn't do it. And then randomly, on like the second to last or the final day of that transfer window, they bid above and beyond the valuation of him. The player said no because he had no time to consider his options at that point. He was away on international duty. This is typical Arsenal. They promise players, we're going to come in for you. We're going to bid for you. We're going to show you how much we value you. And then they come in with inadequate bids. Imagine thinking and believing still that like Arsenal on paper are bigger than Aston Villa in recent history. There's no doubt about it. No matter what, more league titles, more FA Cups, as an example. Imagine bidding £3 million less. Like, it shows you, like, it's crazy. And yes, Villa have got some money as a previous caller, and they're going to spend it. But Arsenal have the money. They've got £3 million extra for him. They just have. They sacked Gunnosaurus for this, bruv. They sacked Gunnosaurus. You sacked Gunnosaurus. You furloughed about 150 odd staff members. Did you take a loan from the government? Maybe that was Spurs. But like, you've done all these things. £3 million. It's Tim Pot. Absolutely Tim Pot. It really is. Where next? Where are you going to look for? Who are the creative players you're going to sign now, in your opinion?
Our may be available, but for probably less money because Lyon didn't get into the Champions League. But that's just typical Arsenal. Arsenal don't have the leverage anymore. Like, you don't have, like, oh man. Like, don't get me wrong. Arsenal are bigger than Aston Villa, but Aston Villa have something Arsenal don't. A Champions League. Something I would want. Like, I would just trade in like all those community shields just for a Champions League. It's that bad.
Mate, of course you would, 100%. Daquan, thanks for coming on, mate, and having your say. Really appreciate it, bro. Thank you, my guy. Top man, thank you. Comment here says the bid got rejected, the player didn't reject. He wasted no time. This guy was out of the traps like a greyhound tracing a hare, like a rat up a drain pipe. He didn't wait. He didn't wait for your next bid. The Arsenal press said an additional bid is coming. It was expected this week, the new bid. So the increased bid was expected. Emi Buendia didn't wait. You didn't walk away. He didn't wait. You can try semantics here all you want, but you got rejected for Aston Villa. Cold, hard, unadulterated facts with a big, fat, capital F. 100, bruv. 100. Next on the show, my guys here. KJ, what you saying, bro?
Yo, listen. When the Brummy boys knock, yeah? When man them from Birmingham knock, it's a different knock. You know what I'm saying? It's a different knock. When the man from Birmingham come knocking, it's a different knock. What is an Arsenal when the Brummy boys Aston Villa come through, fam? It is what it is. Now, in terms of the whole Buendia deal, the simple fact is they didn't show how much they actually wanted him. Aston Villa, you knew they probably went in there saying, yo, look, we've got Grealish, we've got Watkins, this is what we're building, here's what we're trying to go. You can be a main person in this, you can be a main player in this on the right-hand side. Imagine that right-hand side is Buendia, left-hand side is Grealish. Oh, and then you got Watkins in the middle. And if they go out and sign another striker like a Tammy Abraham that they've been reported to trying to get, they're building something here. And Arsenal, that's a good player. That's a smart signing that they'll just let go for no reason whatsoever. They thought they could play big boys. They thought they can play, what Arsenal? No one's going to reject us. No one's going to say no to us. Aston Villa, easy. We can take our time and they won't even come close to us.
It's,
you know what I mean? It's arrogance and incompetence. They need something new. Edu is not good enough. Edu is not good. I've been saying it. I got Arsenal fans on my back. Edu is crap at his job.
Absolute fact. Do you know what really stood out to me? Like, has made me laugh. Is the amount of Gunnars I'm seeing defending it. These Kroenke sympathizers, bruv. These Kroenke sympathizers.
No, they do what all football fans do, which is calm, which is trying to save face. But when other teams happen, something similar happened to them, it's no, they rejected us. They rejected you for us. They rejected you for the Arsenal. You know what I mean? I remember when Man United never even put a bid in for Gabriel. He's rejected Man United. I remember when Willian wanted to stay at Chelsea, but they didn't give him what he wanted, so he went to Arsenal. And it's he rejected Chelsea to come to Arsenal. Now they're trying to say, nah, we didn't even want him that much. Nah, bro, you got rejected then. You got rejected. If that's the logic, you man got rejected and he's peak, bro. Their biggest signing this summer should be Campos. You know, if I take my rival hat off, because I would never want that to happen, because that would be smart. But their biggest signing should be Campos. Really and truly, because they need to. Edu, you've got Edu, who's clearly not good enough. He's like, this is his second summer now, or third window, doing niche already. I know there's a long window come, but you don't have confidence in the guy. And then you've got Arteta, who's a novice manager, who's getting no help. Like, they need to scrap that and go again, bro. It's very peak, bro. But big up Aston Villa, doing what Brummy boys do, fam. Doing what man them from Birmingham do, coming through and getting what they want, fam. We'd love to see.
They're coming down a Peaky Blinders deal here. Do you know what I mean? It's just they come in, and do you know what's mad? I do you know what? I'm gonna have to find it while we're live. I actually asked Igal this question last night. Igal came on last night and was laughing at Tottenham, chuckling, the history of Spurs, re-te-te. And I asked him the question: What if Buendia rejects you for Villa? I asked him that question last night. I swear to you, on my children's eyes, I didn't expect it to happen. And I certainly didn't expect it to happen within 24 hours. But I literally had a bit of a day off today. I met with some friends. We had a barbecue. Had a nice little skinful this evening. As people might see, the face is a little bit gammoned. You know what I mean?
I can see, right? I can smell it from here, Terry. You know what I'm saying?
I went to a friend's house. I got when I say a full bar in their back garden, these motherfuckers had a menu for cocktails in their back garden. It was amazing. So I'd been on the cocktails all afternoon, and I'm driving home. Let me rephrase. I was being driven home, right? I weren't doing the driving. That's a fact. And I went on socials and was like, oh, Sancho's trending, which is amazing. You know, terms agreed, just working out on the installments. Just so happens that the Football Terrace told everyone that earlier on today, but I'm just putting it out there. Like that was nice. It was trending. And then I'm scrolling down and I'm like, okay, that's all great news. Then I go into the Footy Terrace WhatsApp group and there I see it. Buendia. It makes me. Buendia rejects Arsenal for Villa. Honest to God, I thought one of you photoshopped it. I thought Lincoln had been sitting in the basement photoshopping for a day, right, to make it up for a laugh. Turns out it's true. And now Charles Watts has tweeted about it. Arsenal, honestly, North London is not red. North London is not white. North London is non-existent. It's over. It's finished.
It's one of those ones where, okay, listen, they can still go off and do whatever right now in it. Like the window is still a long process right now. There's still a chance for them to do something, but right now it is not looking good. And any Arsenal fan who can sit here and say, "No, I am so confident that we're going to have a good summer," you are basically Igal's minion. That's all I can say. You are basically Igal's apprentice, bro.
I don't know where Igal is right now. Igal might have family over. He might be a busy man. He might be praying. I don't know what man's doing. But get your skinny ass on the terrace right now, my friend. Get yourself here. I want to hear from you because you are here quick when it's bad news about Tottenham. I mean, you are here fast, brother. I'm talking time machine quick. He's here before I set the stream up. He's sitting there ready to go. Where are you tonight, my friend? This is no way to change the topic of conversation, but I want to quickly remind us that Chelsea are the key. Oh, yes, Chelsea.
Yeah. Listen. No, yeah. Button that, bro. We're here to talk about Arsenal and United.
That's history. That's last season now, bro. I don't want to hear about last season. No.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? No one cares about that no more. What are you talking about?
Well, it happened ages ago. 7 days is a long time.
No, literally, this week has felt like the longest week of my life, fam. It's been mad. But anyway, this Sancho news is speeding up. And I haven't seen Sancho news like this since, remember, just after the season ended because of lockdown, and literally that week, the week after, there was a lot of Sancho news. And then it just died. And it's died and died and died. It reminds me of that in terms of lots of things are happening really quickly. And so I've just got to... What are you doing?
Tier one text message from earlier. Just all I'm going to say to you is get fucking excited, bruv. Tier one text, bruv. Listen, the Sancho thing, I've been relaxed about it for a time, right? Listen, you know, KJ, because we talk a lot. There's some things going on at the terrace. Tier one text today. It's all going to be good, brother. It's all good. It's all good.
No, I can't. Don't suck me in, Terry. Don't suck me. I've already been sucked in already. But I want to be further. Don't bring me in further, bro. I can't, bro. I can't. Listen, this
honestly, no cap, bruv. No cap. It's all good. Trust me, bro. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think people understand. For me, anyway, I've not wanted a signings so badly since Paul Pogba. So for me to see this happen is not me forgiving those pagans. Don't worry about that. I'll still be screaming Glazers out when we sign him, bro. You know, it is what it is. But to see this kind of player to come into this football club, to see how he already interacts with the players. Oh, I'm seeing so much prop of him and Rashford in the England team right now. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? I absolutely love it. And just to see even the reaction of the rival fans, where they've been propping him up, saying he's the best English young talent out there. He's one of the best wingers around, generational. To now be saying, "Oh, Bundesliga tax. Oh, he's not actually that good. He's overrated, overhyped. It's just because he's English." Bruv, you know the quality, bruv. You know what I mean? You know
what I basically got told in the text earlier on today is I can't wait for this to. After they told me what they told me, I said thank you. The next response was great because I can't be dealing with you asking me any more questions about it.
Yeah, it's finally coming to an end as well. That's the biggest thing. Like, it's been 2 years. If you really break it down, it's been like 3 years of Man United wanting Jadon Sancho, and now it's finally over.
It's coming. And do you know what the worst bit is though? And this is where I keep the same energy. If it goes wrong now and Man United don't sign him, it's the same scenario as Tottenham with Conte, Arsenal with Emi Buendia. We haven't been serious enough in the bids, and somebody's coming out slipstream and taking them away from us, and that can still happen from this point. Don't get me wrong. But Man United have got it where they want to get it done. All they now need to do is just keep being serious. The negotiations that are going on right now are normal. It's United don't want to pay more than 30-40% max of the initial fee up front, and the Dortmund are asking for sort of 60-70%, which is normal at this stage. The same as the add-ons. They want them to be really easy. Man United want them to be really hard. There'll be a consensus then. I felt all along that Man United would probably end up paying around 30, maybe around 25 to 30 million pounds, the lump sum potentially up front, and the rest will be installments, or a smaller lump sum, but then they'll pay the installments over a 3-year period rather than a 5-year period. That's all being finalized as it stands. And actually, things have sped up, and they could be done before the Euros, which is earlier than most industry experts actually expected.
Yeah,
so
that's the one thing I'm going to be anticipating is is it going to be before the Euros? Because apparently reports saying Sancho wants it done before, or is it going to be after the Euros? And because I've seen other reports say he will do his medicals and he will do everything straight after basically England get knocked out of the Euros or win the Euros if they go that far. So yeah, I'll just anticipate when it gets announced, because I know it's going to be a big thing. And then it'll be straight from that to right. So when we sign in Jude Bellingham, because that's going to be freaking long as well. You know what I'm saying? Straight on to the next one, because I've already seen reports saying, well, Jude Bellingham might be Man United's future. I'm just like, don't suck me in again. Stop.
Do you know what's mad as well, bro? The people I was out with tonight, none of them are really football fans at all. But of course, they've been friends of mine since I was a kid. And they follow me on socials. And the one guy was saying to me tonight, he goes, bruv, he says, I haven't watched a game of football since 1998. I was like, all right, okay. He goes, but do you know how much I know about Jadon Sancho and his deal? Because he literally says he puts our streams on just because it's for the views. He goes, I do it for your views. I'll put your stuff on. Yeah. I like all your videos. He goes, I have no interest in it. He goes, but I know a lot about Jadon Sancho. I said, yeah, 1 in every 3 Terrace videos in the last year has been a Sancho video. So it's the way
what are you going to do? What are you is the channel now over? Now that all your Sancho clickbait is just going to be disappearing.
Yeah, it's finished. There'll be another story, won't there? But it'll be done and dusted there, man. It's a madness. Brother, listen, I'm going to let you get back to your clearly wonderful evening that you are having, my friend. And I will chat to you soon. Take care yourself.
Yo, Jadon Sancho and that, you know what I'm saying? Let's go. Sancho in, Rashford, Sancho, Martial, Greenwood, and Amad Diallo as a tap force, with Cavani being the granddad of the group. Oh, come on, let's freaking go. And all the people saying he's going to ruin his career at United because of Ollie, guess what? Ollie ain't going to be here forever either. So we're going to be cooking very soon. Don't worry about that. I'll catch you in a bit.
Take care, bro. See you later on, mate. Look after yourself. Next on the show, we're going to have Samuel, who's a Gunnar. There's loads more of you. There's like 15 of you backstage right now. If other people use StreamYard, we've got the premium package. So there's 15 of you, man, waiting backstage. Samuel's on next. Samuel's a Gunnar. He looks embarrassed. He looks frustrated. He looks angry. Arsenal are in the mud. Give me your thoughts.
Listen, Terry, I took a break from this YouTube thing, waiting to the Euros to stop hearing this Arsenal fans moan and moan week in, week out. I come back to Twitter today. What do I see? I'm in the Euros mood, Terry. I early today I had my Spain shirt out, enjoying the sun. You know, it's Euros time. Aston Villa, okay, I've signed Emi Buendia over Arsenal. Arsenal lost out on a player to Aston Villa. The worst thing about it is the guy is going to the
Oh, just.
You can just smile, Terry, because you know what? This guy chose the Birmingham over London. That's how. Listen, all you can do is laugh. I mean, the best thing is laugh at yourselves. We are the biggest laughing stock in the Premier League right now. Listen, all I'm gonna say is Igal's content the past 6 months. Igal has been going off on Emi Buendia. You know, Emi Buendia is the number one target. You know, he's great at Arsenal.
Yeah, you got bodied from start to finish, blood. Yeah.
I'm taking too many L's, Terry. First of all, Chelsea won the Champions League last week, and now this. I mean, I've got a lodge in the L in my name because, listen, I'm in a Euros mood. It's a summer's mood. And Arsenal comes back week in, week out to ruin my mood, literally. I just can't stop.
What's your take on Arsenal fans that are claiming that this isn't a rejection and you walked away?
We've been linked with this player for over a year now. Okay, we tried to go in for him last summer in January. We put all the bids in, okay. Interest in this player for over a year now. It's as long as the Sancho deal. Same interest. Way lesser price, cheaper. Listen, what I know is the board were too stubborn. They didn't want to pay the money. Buendia was like, you know what? Burn Arsenal. I'm not going to wait for them. I can go Aston Villa, play Premier League football. Jack Grealish looks to be leaving. Well, I can tell you this, Jack Grealish ain't coming to Arsenal. I can tell you that. And obviously, Emi Buendia rejected Arsenal to go to Aston Villa. Arsenal are finished as a club as we know it. But I've got to take this as a thing. I look at this way. There's no way they would let our number one target go. Or one of our targets go. There must be an alternative. And I guarantee you, if we get that there's an alternative, Terry. I trust you. There's always a plan B. Trust me, if we get this plan B, Arsenal fans will be saying, this guy's better than Buendia. We don't need Buendia. Trust me, Terry. Deadline day, we'll do another thing with Thomas Partey.
I promise, like, and even it's been a weird these past few.
That's how I know you've been drinking too much margaritas, Terry.
No, bro, you're trying so hard to try and deflect here. Just let it out. Let out what you really want to say.
Okay, I'll tell you what I say. We're shit, Terry. We're fucking shit. Every single player is shit. Top to bottom, we're a shit club. That's what we are. Best we could do is 6th place next season. That's our levels now. Look at the thumbnail. Man United make Jadon Sancho offer. Arsenal get rejected by Emi Buendia. I mean, it shows the levels. The levels between Man United. One thing I'll say does make me happy is that I don't have to see no one with Sancho bullshit week in, week out on the terrace because it's been making me sick. Every morning I put on the thumbnails, you know, clickbait titles. But you know what? Congratulations, Terry. Your club actually cares about.
I don't do clickbait, bro. What are you talking about?
No, you know what?
What are you talking about clickbait? What are you talking about clickbait, bruv?
Oh yeah, no. You don't know you clickbait, Terry. You know, no clickbait. You know, Football Terrace is the number one.
Samuel, thanks for coming on the thanks for coming on having your say. Top man. It is an utter embarrassment, Jerome. You're absolutely right. Arsenal are not too big to go down. Remember, Leeds, on here. Right, we're going to get some more calls here. Lots of people to get on. I'm going to try and pronounce this gentleman's name correctly. It's a difficult one for a dyslexic. Asagbavo. Maybe I said that wrong. He's reacted. How you doing, bro? You good?
Hey, Terry. How you doing, my man?
I'm very well. Who did you talk about, guy?
I'm pleased to be on your show. I've been a fan of yours for a while. Just at the background, I enjoy your diverse view. I'm a Man United fan, one who's not sold on any of the BS happening in the club. First and foremost, I don't believe in Ole. I believe he's crap. I'll tell you why. The reason most Man United fans are being sold on us winning, if you want to know how we really play, after every match that we win, go back and watch it again. We are caught in the hype of winning a match and we get carried away. Go back and watch every match Man United ever won. You will find out that we always played poorly. Take, for example, beating Chelsea 4-0. That game, we were lucky to win. So I never was sold on it. So you see, the crazy thing is Man United is the only club where the assistant managers are blamed for the club playing poorly, but not the managers. Fans will say, give Ole better coaches. Have you ever heard that before? You hear Man United fans saying, we need to get better coaches for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I'm blown away and I'm asking myself, in all of my years watching football, I have never heard that before. This guy is just not good enough. Forget sentiments. Go back and watch every game we won. I can bet you that 8 in 10, we played terribly. We played poorly. I'll tell you how I know. I live in Canada, so most times I don't watch the live matches. I watch the highlights. Sometimes I go back to watch the matches. Every time I go back to watch our matches, I keep asking myself, what are we excited about? We were just lucky something happened. 5 minutes of brilliance happens and we win. Yet people are carried away. People want to die on the sword of this guy will improve. He is not good. Terry, I'm asking you this question. Look, Terry, let me ask you this question.
Yeah, go on.
What big club have you ever heard where the assistant managers are blamed, but not the manager? Please answer.
None. And listen, you're preaching to converted. Everybody knows that I have a tremendous amount of respect for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for what he's done as a manager, because I think he's done some great rebuilding elements at the football club, and as a player, he's a legend. But I do think we need a better coach than him. I mean, it's not one of the subjects tonight in relation to what we're about.
Sorry, I had to.
But no, that's fine. But yeah, everyone knows my thoughts on Ole as a coach. However, the difference between me and a lot of Ole outers is I want him to be successful. So whether I believe in him or not, what I want to happen is very, very different. I don't think he's good enough, but I can't celebrate when he's not. I suppose is my view on those types of things. In terms of the Jadon Sancho deal closing in and moving ever closer, is that something you're excited about as a Man United fan?
No, I'm not. I'll tell you why. I don't want to call names. I actually follow most of you YouTubers, right? One of them I sent a message to while he was. I said, see, Man United is like giving an amateur driver a Ferrari to drive.
Yeah,
Man United is the Ferrari. The amateur driver is Ole. If you bring in Jadon Sancho now, what are the guarantees that Ole will not be given a new contract and he won't be here for another 2-3 years, and we get back to this same stage? So I'm not excited about any transfer. I'm telling you the honest truth. For me, in my opinion, if we get a very good coach, that team as it is good enough. We've forgotten that at some point in the league, we're on top of the league. Yes. Any good coach will guide that team from that top to the end of the season.
I do
interject.
I hear you, but Ole will eventually, if he's as bad as you say, so we're going to live in the world here. If he's as bad as you say, he will eventually lose his job. We're going to bring in another manager. Wouldn't it be better for that new manager to have some of the best players possible in the world rather than just Dan James?
What are the guarantees that he will lose the job when we know that the owners of the club are happy with someone who would not push back? Every coach we've had that pushed back.
The owners of the club care about qualification for the Champions League. With Chelsea looking brilliant this year, Liverpool are going to bounce back, City being City. If Man United don't make the top 4, he'll get sacked.
But we will, because my fear of not making it was if Tottenham had gotten Conte. Now, with Tottenham not getting Conte, I'm almost sure that we'll sneak in as 4th. I tell you. So that's my concern. It's not about for the next. That's what we've been saying. The next manager of Bruno Fernandes, the next manager, Realize the more we wait, some of these top players will leave.
Brother, do you need a hug? Do you need a cuddle? You seem very down to me, my guy. Listen, my brother, if I was there now, I'll give you. Whereabouts in Canada are you, my friend?
Oh, Ottawa.
My city. I love that. I'm an Ottawa Senators fan. I spent a lot of time in Ottawa as a younger man. Best city in Canada as well. So big up yourself there, my guy. Brother, thank you for coming on and having your say. I really appreciate it, my friend. Thank you very, very much indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, he's here with us now. He's joining us. Emi Buendia has rejected Arsenal. He's going to Aston Villa, just as we suggested last night. It's our guy. He's here. Let's go.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I need a girl to ride. I need a girl to make my wife. I need a girl who's mine, oh mine. I need a girl in my life. I need a girl to ride. I need a girl to be my wife. Nobody else, she's all mine. I need a girl.
Yeah. Yo, I'm internationally known on the microphone.
This is karma. This is karma. Terry, I'm not here for it. I don't get it. What is anybody out there who actually knows what's going on? Because today we found out that every single journal did not know what was going on. Everyone was in a room. Fabrizio Romano on one side, Chris on the other side. You got what's his name? What's the guy's name from Goal? He's on the other side. They're all pointing guns at each other, looking at each other. Then you got AFC Bell in the middle, looking at everybody. It makes no sense, Terry. Arsenal's transfer window hasn't even started, but it's still already the most embarrassing transfer window for Arsenal, in my opinion. It makes no sense. Who's our number one target? If he is our number one target and we're losing him to Aston Villa, we are a dead club. This is an absolute joke, mate. I said it myself. I don't get it. I wanted Buendia from January. We didn't get him in January. I said, you know what? It makes sense. We got Martin Odegaard. We got a cheap option. We got a loan. It makes sense. Terry, what is going on at this club? I literally just turned off my phone. I'm sorry. I just seen your messages right now. I turned off my phone. I put it in the charger. I started watching some shows. I'm like, let me distract myself from Arsenal because I've been in my feelings too much about this whole situation. Because Terry, I woke up this morning. You know what the news was? Arsenal submitted a £35 million bid. Woo! Let's go. Next thing you know, Terry, 2 minutes later, Aston Villa are in the lead of a race. What is this? Go-karts? Like what race? Then someone says to me, oh, he's going to Aston Villa. Why do you care? He's going to Aston Villa. And then the same person that everyone's calling a championship player, making fun of him. People are saying he's not good. They're now acting like, yo, he was never our number one target. The club is a joke. These media people, they're feeding us lies. I don't believe it. We've been all reporting on Buendia for 6 months to a year. It makes no sense. Get your shit in order, Arsenal. Because if you're going to continuously do this to us, you're embarrassing us as fans. Yesterday, Tottenham were embarrassed. It couldn't get worse than that. I think this is just as bad. It's actually ridiculous, Terry. It makes no sense. I don't get it. Everyone laughing. You guys laugh. I don't care. This is actually a joke. At this point, you know what the joke is, Terry? You know what the joke is? The window hasn't even opened yet, and we're already a laughing stock.
I'm trying to hold it together. Do you know what's mad? It's not the journalist.
Why are you laughing? You're supposed to be impartial.
I know I'm meant to be impartial, but I love you, and you made me laugh. Listen, brother. Let me say this: it's not the journalist's fault. I had a conversation today with Alistair Gold, and because I felt sorry for it, I legitimately felt bad for him because he was given information not only after my conversation with him, not only by Tottenham, but by Conte's camp, and then they both went in opposite directions, and it made him get all this abuse online. Your club have fed into your credible tier ones this information. And you know what you said there? You've pulled on it. And everybody trying to pull this PR bullshit that you walked away. Your top journalist said you were coming in with a second bid of 35 mil. Do you know what I think's happened? I don't think any of that information was incorrect. I think you went in with 30. Norwich said no. Villa came back in with a bid that was adequate, and Arsenal thought, oh, we better go back in with a higher bid then. And Buendia has gone, you've been chatting to me for months. You promised me you'd get this done. I'm ready to sign. And you put in a bid that's been rejected. You're not serious. I'm going elsewhere. That's what's happened. And do you know what? The amount of times I've sat here on the football terrace and spoke about this exact situation where a player chooses club A for whatever reason, doesn't matter why he's chosen, that's who he chooses, but then they dilly-dally. They mess up the bids. They don't actually put their money where their mouth are. And then somebody else comes in and says, listen, we are serious about you. We will do X, Y, and Z. Look, boom, there's the money. We put the bid in. You can turn someone's head because these players are professionals. Yes, they sometimes have these personal preferences and these long-standing desires to play for particular clubs and whatnot, but they're professional football players and they want to be at the best club for them. It's so hard to buy into a football club that piss farts about. And how many times in the last 10 years have you seen Arsenal do this with transfers where you dilly-dally, you don't put the bids in, you bid in an amount that's inadequate? You know, you offer contracts that players don't really. Honestly, bruv, like I'm not even trying to rub salt into the wounds here. It is utterly ridiculous the way your football club is behaving. And look, you might still go on to sign other players, but it cannot. But you know you are after Buendia. You tried to sign Buendia in January and couldn't get it done. You came back in for him now, and he's picking Aston Villa over you. That shows you where you are, Egal. It shows you where you are, brother. It shows you where you are.
Terry, I went out and I did like a whole combined 11 of all the players that we could get and looking at the team, how it looked next year, this is that, preparing for next season. As a fan, I actually believe for once that this was going to be a summer where we could actually fix a lot of our problems and get rid of some dead wood, get some players in with promising scope to grow. But now we're being linked to Fekir and we're being linked to the guy from AC Milan, the Turkish brother. These are good players, but it's not the profile of player and the age bracket that I'm looking at as a fan that excites me. And I'm just sick and tired of the club that I support embarrassing the fans, not only embarrassing the fans, but putting us through a hard time. You put us through a hard time this whole season. Arsenal Football Club put the fans through a hard time. And the one thing we ask is to get the business done in the summer properly. But the problem is they don't know which direction they're going in, Terry. They don't know which direction they're going in. They don't know who their actual number one targets is. If Odegaard is the number one target now, you guys are lying to us because Odegaard was not the number one target a couple of days ago, right? If Fekir and these other guys are now the new number one targets, absolute lies, because that's not true. And I'm just sick and tired of them, the board, the Cronkies, the manager, everybody constantly putting us as fans in the mud because we are not the ones going out there misperforming. We're not the ones going out there doing these things. We're the ones suffering. We're the ones being put in this situation where constantly have rivals ridicule us. It is not my fault that my team is bad. It is not a fan's fault that the team's bad. The team is mismanaged and badly run. And that might be one of the reasons. Emi Martinez left Arsenal. In a year later, the number one goalkeeper in Leno, who just came back from an injury, is claiming he wants to leave. And Martinez is now recruiting Arsenal's number one target to his new club, Aston Villa. He was not joking when he said it's a step up. For him in his career, they have more ambition than Arsenal at this point because they're getting stuff done properly. They've spent more money than us in the transfer windows over the past couple of seasons. And as fans, we're sick and tired of this. Honestly, we've been saying Kroenke out. People don't want to back it. We've been saying don't buy the shirts. Everyone's getting free shirts delivered to them. We've been saying don't back this whole thing. I had free tickets to the Brighton game, Terry, because I'm a Red member and they were giving out promotion to free tickets to Red members. And you know what? I canceled my Red membership and I told the guy who was giving me the free ticket, give it to somebody else because I don't want to go. And that was the Brighton game. And at this point, I'm not going to lie to you, Terry. You guys are enjoying this. Everyone's enjoying this. The only people who are not enjoying this is us, the fans. And you know what? As Arsenal fans, we've been through a lot. All I ask is one thing: fix up for next season because there's a Euros. Then there's a World Cup, and in between we don't have European football. Take advantage of this year. And you know what they're doing? They're setting us further back by not getting their targets, by not having their ducks in a row. And generally, as a fan, I'm not overreacting. This has constantly happened. I'm hearing forget about Emi Buendia. Today there was a report we could lose Basuma to Liverpool, and he's not even their number one target. Who is our number one target? Put me on full screen. Arsenal Football Club. If your number one target is hidden, I get it. You don't have to tell us who your number one target is. But if you want a player, go and get him. Don't dilly-dally for 7 months. If you're gonna get a player, get the player. Get them in before the transfer window's over. Let them have a preseason. Let them in bed, or else we're gonna have the same problem every single year. The player's gonna come into the team. They're gonna struggle. They're gonna be called. Trash by rivals, and our own fans are gonna turn on them. And you know what? They're gonna have a hard time adjusting to Premier League. Let them have a full preseason. Let us at least have one season where we're not being criticized by rivals, bantered by everybody else because of your mismanagement, your misownership, and your mismanaging of players, individuals, and everybody. And if anything you learn from this situation, if you go up against any other team, you have to put your money where your mouth is, or else you're going to be taken for duck.
For duck?
I don't know. I tried to use another word, but I forgot.
That is for duck. I love you. I love you. No, but bro, honestly, I quack. Honestly, bro, I
laugh at the duck, right?
I laugh at the duck comment. But like for me,
I see what you're doing. You're trying to make me smile. This is not a smiling matter, Terry. We're suffering. And people are saying Aston Villa have more ambitions. Someone said to me today, Aston Villa have a better chance of projection to get into Europe next season and win something in the league than Arsenal do, because Arsenal, with the team that they have and the creativity that they lack, there is no way you guys are going to be better than Aston Villa. Aston Villa did the double over us, and now they're getting Martinez and Emi Buendia.
Yeah,
we're their feeder club at this point. They're taking our recruits.
That must be the scary part of it. That must be the scary part of it, now. But a lot of people said this to you. Do you remember when people were saying this to you? Do you remember when people were saying that?
Aston Villa and Arsenal should be not considered. Is that Mighty Ducks?
Quack.
Terry, if you know Mighty Ducks, there's a song in there, Good Vibration. I just want good vibrations from this team. I don't want no problems.
I hear you, bro. Like, for me, look, I look at the situation at Arsenal, and I'm starting to think Gunnars now.
Look at the duck emojis. What are you guys doing?
I know, bro. I just feel like you guys have now got to just realize where you are. Does that make sense?
Honestly, Terry, my expectations as a fan and the reality of where we are, I can't expect much from these guys.
I hear that, bro. I hear that.
And you know the worst part is, who's going to be in our midfield next year? Joe Willock is supposed to be going to Newcastle. People want to sell him to Newcastle. Makes no sense, right? He's the only decent midfielder. We got Elneny, who people are saying get rid of, but guess what? He's going to be staying. Guendouzi's leaving for about 8 million now. Makes no sense why we're selling him for 8 million. At least now that we're giving him a new contract, maybe we can get more from it, right? Xhaka is supposedly being sold to Roma. Who's going to play in our midfield? Partey by himself?
Mate, honestly, if I'm an Arsenal fan right now, I'm panicking. I really am. Gal, thanks for coming on, mate, and having your say. Really appreciate that, bro. I know it's a difficult night for you, my friend. I'll let you get back to whatever you're doing. Speak to you soon, my guy. Thank you. Take care, buddy.
Pay attention, Arsenal. Wake up.
Final caller of the night. There's so many people waiting, but I'm gonna try and pronounce it right. Mangwa on the show to have you say, one of our members tonight. What you saying, bro? You're on mute, bro.
I didn't want to do that. My debut, but I wanted to say, guys, Sancho is in the bag. It's in the bag. Yeah, I used to film Rashford and whatnot for Smoky Barbers, and let's just say the news right now in the WhatsApp groups. We got Sancho, my guy. We've got Sancho. And Terry, I just wanted to say, big you guys up, Egal. I'm sorry, bro. You and Tottenham. I don't know what's happening with that side of London, but guys need to fix up. How is Chelsea just walking around laughing at you guys? Come on. Duck. Please. Oh, boy. That's what I wanted to say, man. I'm happy. I'm excited. What's your thoughts? Is Sancho 90% done?
But you know what? It feels that I'm not going to go into the whole. I'm not going to do a gold bridge, big up a gold bridge, and do the 90% club or anything like that. But honestly, I was chatting to the journalist today. Like, listen, it's as close to done as it's ever going to be. just relax. It basically said relax. And he didn't say it in this way that I'm going to say it, but he said, can you just relax and stop fucking texting me? Like, that's basically what he said. So I'm like, all right, cool, bro. I can accept that and take it as far as that's concerned. I think it's going to happen now. It looks like it's in a really good space. So I'm pretty happy with that. But, you know, as you said, on the Arsenal situation and Tottenham situation, they're just in trouble as football clubs right now. They really are.
Like, London's let me down, man. Like, this is why I rep a Manchester United team, because at least when we do things slowly, we still get it right, you know? Hopefully, fingers crossed. Don't quote me on this. But,
100%, 100%.
Bless, man. Oh, yeah, and Terry, I want to do your visuals, bro. Get me involved in that studio, my guy. This is my application right now. I sent you that email.
Is that you?
Yeah, that's me, man.
I will reach back. Do you know what it is, brother? I'm just so busy. I just forget to get stuff done. So your stuff, your intro stuff is really good. I will reach out to you about that. I'm just doing a few things internally about the different kind of shows. We need to find, just get down. We just got breaking down exactly what shows we're going to do and how we want them to work. And then I will reach out because your visuals are great.
Don't worry, bro. I'm crazy. I just did a few stuff. I'll catch you in a bit anyway.
Thank you. All right, brother. Take care, my friend. Thank you very, very much indeed. Top man. Thank you. His intros. He sent me some samples. Amazing work. We're going to go to, I want to pronounce this guy's name right. Tade Show Sports is going to be on the show with us now. What are you saying, buddy?
What's up? It's Tade. How you doing, man, Terry?
I'm very, very good, my friend. What do you want to say?
Listen, man, I just want to, echo a little bit of what Igel was saying, because obviously I kind of enjoyed what he was saying, and I kind of feel his pain, really. But at the end of the day, right, as fans, right, we've been talking about Emiliano Buendia for a long time. We've been talking about him since the January transfer. Everyone's hopes were up. Everyone thought he was going to come to Arsenal. I mean, that's what I thought. As a matter of fact, I did a bit about him on my stream 2 days ago, excited about it. And I was sleeping today only for me to wake up and saw the news from Sky Sports. And that's very devastating. But then again, you have to then sit down and think about it. What are the possible reasons why this happened? What are the reasons why we lost this battle to Aston Villa? Aston Villa were never in the race until recently. But it happened anyway, last minute. So you have to think about what Arsenal has done to just say, you know what, we don't want this player anymore. Or maybe the player decided against going to Arsenal in favor of Aston Villa. Perhaps the evaluation of the player from Arsenal didn't really make the evaluation that Aston Villa, put on this player. It's possible that Aston Villa decided to pay, 40 million or something. Arsenal maybe only put like 30 million. That's a possibility. It's also possible that Arsenal were just time wasters in the sense that we know from what Fabrizio has said that they were looking at other players in that position, which simply means they're probably distracted as well. And they were not serious. And this guy needs to play in Copa America. We heard that he didn't play for Argentina simply because he was distracted with the contract situation. And I'm pretty sure this guy is trying to get this thing, over the line, get his head sorted, focus on the national team. And he's probably looking at Arsenal saying, these guys have been talking to me for a while now. Do something, do what you need to do. And you haven't done it simply because you are distracted, because you are looking at other players alongside Emiliano Buendia in that position, and they're not really serious about it. That is a potential reason why this must have happened. The third reason is possibly they're not selling the right project to him. Who knows? Perhaps, just perhaps, maybe Aston Villa wants him to play alongside Grealish. I don't think Grealish is going to stay, but I'm hearing they want to keep Grealish. Maybe that's part of the bargaining power they have. I don't know. And maybe he might be looking at Arsenal and thinking, okay, if I come to Arsenal, is there a guarantee that I'm going to be on the first team? Because this guy plays on the right-hand side. He's probably going to be, battling with the likes of Saka and the likes of Pepe. And maybe he's going to be thinking about that, saying, you know what, I have a better chance of making the first team here. Perhaps maybe Grealish is going to leave. Who knows? But the point of the whole matter is I'm trying to make sense of all this. But I really, really am struggling because for a team that's been going after a player for a long, long time, and you lose out to a supposedly smaller team, that's a slap on the face of Arsenal. A big slap. And it really makes me very, very angry as an Arsenal fan.
I mean, I agree with everything you've just said. And I think, from a fan's point of view, you've been linked with him for a long time. I do get the feeling that there's this element of, we're Arsenal, we'll get him. It's only Villa that are competing. We can do some shopping elsewhere and we'll come back later. You've turned back up and the product's been sold. Someone else has come in and taken it, in front of you. And, if you recover from this and you go and sign better players or individuals that are as good that go on to deliver, then nobody's going to remember this.
Yeah.
The problem you have is if you don't, if you sign another Dani Ceballos, if you sign another Odegaard, and they just come in and they're underwhelming, and if Buendia at the same time kills it at Villa and is creating, scoring, and tearing up the Prem, it's just going to add further insult to any injury that occurs. And listen, I'll always banter Arsenal as a Manchester United fan, but do you know what? I don't like to see great football clubs run poorly.
Sorry to interrupt you. It is run poorly, and this is what sickens me as an Arsenal fan. This is what gets you wondering, why are you still supporting this club? Do you know what I mean? Because of the way things are being done. It is absurd. It is absurd. Because let's think about this, right? You say you want someone, but you're not showing that you really want it. You're not putting your foot on the ground and saying, I'm gonna go out and get this guy. This is the player I want to get, and I'm gonna do everything in my power to get this player. Except, of course, they want to do what Wenger's saying, that the best deals are done secretly. Except they're doing stuff that we don't know about. Then they should surprise us. If they surprise us and they get someone that's going to deliver better than Emile, then that's thumbs up. But going by the track record of Arsenal Football Club, we can't trust them. It's difficult to trust them because of what they've done in the past. Now, you made a very great point about saying, because they're Arsenal, there's a potential that the name speaks for itself. Someone came on my stream today and said perhaps they're selling the name of Arsenal and not selling the right project. Now, that is a very, very vital point. They're probably saying, because we're Arsenal, we should be able to get it. But listen, people are waking up. People are woke. Aston Villas, the Evertons, the Leicesters, they're woke. They ain't going to sit their butts on the floor and be waiting for anybody. People are spending money right now, and they're building a project. So we need to wake up as Arsenal, as an institution, because it's really sickening. I mean, I'm a Nigerian, and there's been issues outside football that was bothering me today. Apparently, in Nigeria, Twitter has been banned, right, and suspended.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I was just recovering from that, and then today this. So it's almost like my whole weekend is just messed up right now. Do you know what I mean?
Mate, I hear that. See, football's always meant to be that great escape from real, genuine, serious life issues, and of course, there's a lot of stuff in the last 12 months going on in Nigeria, and not having a social media platform where you can speak freely on is an atrocious thing.
It is.
Power. So you then turn to your football team for a little bit of respite and happiness, and they behave like this. It's double bubble, mate. I get that. Tade, appreciate you coming on, mate.
Thanks a lot, Terry.
A lot of love in the comments for you as well.
Oh,
Mike.
really? Thanks, people. I can't see it.
Top man. Thank you very much for coming and having. It'd be great to speak to you again soon, mate. Look after yourself, brother. All the best.
Take care.
Take care, man. Thank you very, very much. Bye bye. Everyone I know there's still about 12, 13 of you waiting backstage. I'm really sorry that I can't get any more of you on tonight. It is quite late. I need some sleep. Busy day tomorrow. Freya's got football in the morning, so I've got to be there. But everyone who's tuned in, a massive thank you to each and every single one of you. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Goodbye. God bless.